If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Oh, lost on the road, subscribers and followers. I made a video the other day where I talked about how our new refrigerator, it's a freezer and a fridge, it's a 120 volt AC, yet we run it off batteries. Apparently I caused a little bit of confusion because I had a lot of questions, even though I thought it was pretty thorough on the explanation. A lot of questions came up that I just didn't cover in the video. So I thought I would try to make a video where it was more specific to the electrical system and less about the fridge. Okay, first I have a Champion 2000 watt inverter generator. This is a very efficient generator. It's very quiet. It runs about 56 decibels, which is about a conversation level. There are other generators you can buy. This one's pretty inexpensive. It was about $450 to $500. You can buy a Honda, which is comparable. It's a little bit quieter, but it ramps up the price, I think, around $1,000. I've not looked at them because, I mean, it's just out of my price range, and I like the Champion. It can run at 2,000 watts when the power is you need that much power. Otherwise, it ramps down to about 25% of that and runs really quiet. So it's like a lawnmower. You turn it up and then you can turn it down. Well, that's what it's doing. It's turning down when it's not needing a lot of power. So that makes it quieter and it's insulated. Now this generator, you can stack another one on top of it just like it, plug the two together, and then you'll have 4,000 watts. So if you needed to run an air conditioner. I think that's pretty convenient because if you don't need 4,000 watts of energy today, you only need, 100 watts, you can run one, which is really saving you a lot of money. Now the gas that it uses is about 9 hours on a gallon of gas when it's running at its lowest point, which is that 25% range. Of course, it uses more gas the faster you go. I run that generator twice a day for about 2 hours each, once in the morning and then once in the evening. The reason I do this is because it is now going to power a battery charger. The battery charger is mine's just a 25 amp battery charger. Bought it at Walmart and it cost about 40 bucks. You can get some that are much cheaper. But with this one, it has 25 amps. The other one has 10 amps. So I'm using the 25 amps. Well, here's the advantage. It charges quicker. The disadvantage is now it's using more power. So the generator runs a little louder than it did with the 10 amp because it has to use more power. Not bad. What I've noticed though, that I'm using less gas with the 25 amp, even though it's running a little faster than if I had to run the 10 amp 3 hours. So that battery charger is now charging the battery for 2 hours. Now the battery is a 122 amp hour battery. I bought it at Walmart. It's an Everstart battery. Costs about $80 and it does everything we need. The battery I have connected to the truck battery. Now the way I did that is I ran a wire from the positive of the truck battery to the positive of the house battery, and the negative of the truck battery to the negative of the house battery. What that does is just give you more amp hours. Still 12 volts, that's what I'm charging. It's a 12 volt battery, so I have 12 volts. Once the batteries are charged, I shut off the generator, which shuts off the charger, which now I have no electric, right? So what I have to do is then I have to switch all my electric, the refrigerator, the computers and everything that was hooked up to the generator while the battery was charging, over to what's called an inverter. And an inverter is something like this. This one we use inside the truck while we're driving around. Is 120 watts, it's very small. Pick it up real cheap at Walmart. But it has a plug-in for regular house plug and 2 USBs. And what you do is you plug this into your car adapter. Okay, so what you're using is your DC electric from your truck to your, and it inverts it to AC electric. It gives you 120 watts. Our house inverter, the one we use inside the camper, is 750 watts. You can buy it at Walmart for about 40 bucks, which is a real advantage because I've messed a couple of them up. I spilled soup on one, got water on one. There's 2 types of inverters. There's the cheap one that I just mentioned, you can get at Walmart, and it's called a modified sine wave. Or you can get a more expensive one, about $100 more expensive off Amazon, and it's called a true sine wave. The difference between a true sine wave and a modified sine wave is true sine wave is a true 60 hertz. So there's this cycle. Alternating current is what it's called, AC. 120 volts, AC electric, alternating current. Well, with the modified, it's more sporadic. It doesn't really have a true cycle. So what happens is it doesn't really give clean energy. So what happens is your refrigerator, your motors on your refrigerator will run a little hotter, or on an old style TV where it uses a lot of resistors and things, it will be more staticky and just not a clean picture. So some of the advantages of the setup that I have designed here is it's very flexible, easy to install, easy to understand, and it just works really well. Now if you think about it, if you take this design and you got a car battery, your vehicle battery, okay, a generator, and an inverter, you could actually power things at a tent site, boondocking. To hook your inverter up to your car battery, then you have power coming from your car battery over to your appliance, whatever it is you want to run, up to 750 watts. Now, you got to be careful that you don't run your car battery down. Remember, you got to have a generator to charge it back up with a battery charger. You're going to have to do that. Some people will turn their vehicle on to charge battery. You can do that, but remember, you're using a lot of gas that way. If your vehicle gets, let's say, 18 miles per gallon, that means that you're only going to get 18 minutes out of a gallon of gas. Whereas with the generator, you're going to get about 9 hours for the same gallon of gas. Now, of course, the safer method, so you don't run down your battery on your vehicle and your generator doesn't start up for whatever reason, or you got problems where you can't get your vehicle started and you got a dead battery on your vehicle. The smarter method would be to bring a separate battery. Do the same thing, hook your inverter up to that battery, your house, RV battery, and then power your inverter, which will power your appliances. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like video, and